Welcome to the Analytics for Beginners course by Jigsaw Academy. This is a starter course, which means that it has been designed for absolutely anyone who's looking for a fundamental understanding of the basics of analytics. You don't need to be a programmer or a mathematician or even someone who likes numbers. Let's get some things clear. You're not going to be a data scientist or a statistician or a SAS programmer at the end of this course. But if you do enjoy what you see and learn in this module, feel free to take the learning further and sign up for some of our more in-depth modules. In this course, we are going to introduce you to the key concepts of analytics. Concepts that are fairly simple, yet enormously powerful. You will learn simple analytic techniques to analyze any kind of data and draw insights from it. We have designed this course for people who want to get over their fear of data. We want you to see data and analytics for what it is: interesting, not that intimidating, fascinating, and truly fun. There are no complex mathematical equations or long programming codes anywhere in this course. What we teach here is a mix of some simple math, a little Excel, some statistics, and bucket loads of common sense. So put your thinking caps on and get ready to enter the wonderful world of analytics. Best of luck. Most people think that they know nothing about analytics. As students of analytics, we'd also like to believe that somehow we will have access to some elite, fantastic, and privileged information. But that's just not true either. The fact of the matter is, analytics functions as the basis of so many things that work around us. So in fact, all of us are the recipients of the benefits of analytics day in and day out, without even knowing it. So where is analytics used, you ask? Well, where not? Whether it's at the movies, on the sports field, when deciding which accessories go best with which laptop, figuring out what TV show you should be downloading next, when choosing your country's next prime minister, or even when finding love online. All of these activities today are aided and have been made more efficient by the use of analytics. To see how analytics is being used in real life situations all around us, watch some of the examples that follow.
Netflix is an American provider of on-demand internet streaming media. Once you log in and pay your monthly fee, movies you can select can be watched instantly through your computer or gaming system. Netflix recently revolutionized the way television content is created for audiences, and they did that using analytics. They first started by collecting data, lots of it, lots and lots of it. Since they had access to the viewing preferences of all their members, this put Netflix in a great position to predict what kind of people want to watch what in which genre. Netflix's vast analysis led them to the conclusion that David Fincher, the director of The Social Network, was very popular. The British version of The House of Cards, a political television drama from the 90s, had been well received by the existing viewers. And that the viewers of both David Fincher and The British House of Cards also watched films starring Kevin Spacey. Each of these very individual factors had to contain a certain volume of users. Netflix had a lot of users in each category. This weighed in heavily when Netflix ultimately then made the decision to buy the rights to the show and create an American version of House of Cards. But that's not where the analytics ended. Netflix further customized the experience by having different advertisements and promotions for the series tailored to different types of viewers. While Kevin Spacey's fans saw a lot of Kevin Spacey in the promotions, fans of the director were reminded of his critically acclaimed films. So did all of this work? A resounding yes! It brought in 2 million new US subscribers in the first quarter of 2013, a 7% increase over the previous quarter. It also brought in 1 million new subscribers from elsewhere in the world. If we were to go just by the production figures alone, just these 3 million new subscribers almost reimbursed Netflix the cost of creating the show.
Political parties also rely on analytics to get their key messages across to their voters. When you visit any of their websites, it automatically embeds a little cookie into your system that tracks your browsing pattern. So, let's assume you visit a cricket website, followed by a careers portal. What the algorithm infers is that you are a young male who is possibly looking for a job. So, when you run your next search, it will show you a contextual ad for the political party saying something like, unemployment at an all-time high, make a change, vote for party XYZ. Many dating websites today believe that it has less to do with an emotional connection and possibly more with crunching the data when it comes to finding one's soulmate online. Popular dating website OkCupid was founded by 4 mathematicians who definitely thought so. We think that dating is a problem to be solved using data and analytics, said Sam Yegan, the CEO. That may not sound too romantic, but it was the first time that someone was thinking out of the box when it came to dating. OkCupid essentially works on 2 levels. 1, by asking for user preferences and answers to predefined questions. And 2, it also makes the users decide the relevance of the question itself, thus creating datasets on the basis of which people are matched up. So it measures whether the question was important to both people as well as how they answered it. OkCupid also used the data collected to arrive at small but insightful findings, like when gas prices rose, users decreased their search radius for matches. Or that if your profile picture was taken using a camera with a flash, users often estimated you as being almost 7 years older than you actually were. You can read up on a lot more interesting trends discovered by OkCupid using analytics on their blog blog.okcupid.com.
So before we go into more detail about data, let's quickly define analytics once again. Simply put, analytics refers to the ability to collect and use data to generate insights that inform fact-based decision making. Advances in information technology and the datafication of our world are just ensuring that we have, or that we will soon have, data and insights on everything around us. And when you have the data, you then have the opportunity to target and improve the processing and functioning of sectors such as business, sport, healthcare, and the way government works. But where does all this data for us to use in analytics come from? Let's start with the most obvious sources of data: emails, browser logs, our website purchases and preferences. Every time you download a movie or a song, every place you go to using a Maps app on your smartphone. Or let's think outside of the internet. Sensors that monitor different levels in your car, tracking devices that follow goods as they are shipped across countries, your cable boxes that record which television shows you watch and which you skip. What about all the data generated at your office, financial systems, transactions and HR information? But then, how much data can a single little transaction generate?
How much data can a single little transaction generate? Let's look at your weekly grocery bill in more detail. When you purchase items at a retail store, all the items you have purchased are scanned at the checkout counter in order to generate the bill. The reason for scanning the items is so that the computer can recognize the product and assign the right price to it. Once the correct price is assigned, the computer then adds the item to your bill. Once the items are scanned, the computer then generates a bill for the entire purchase. This is called the checkout process. But this is only the visible part of the entire transaction. The bulk of the process happens behind the scenes. Every time a transaction is conducted and a bill is generated, all the information about the transaction is recorded. While the computer is generating the bill for all the items, it is also recording crucial bits of the transaction, like what is being bought, how much, at what price, at what time of day, and if it's part of a chain, at which store, amongst many other things. All of this is information that the retailer can later analyze to understand their business better.
So how much data is there really? Clearly, there's no shortage of data in the world. And what's important to remember is that it is this data that acts as a rocket fuel for analytics. But just for fun, let's try and visualize how much data there actually is in the world. Did you know that every minute there are about 20 hours of video being uploaded to YouTube? About 72.9 products are ordered on Amazon every single second, and about 2.9 million emails are sent across the globe every second. Each month, about 700 billion minutes are spent in total across Facebook. These are some mind-boggling stats about the amount of data that's present in this world. That's a lot of data. Clearly, we're not going to be running out of that for some time. And as long as there's data, there will be a need for data analytics, and hence the relevance of this course. So before we move on, let's summarize our learnings till now. We kind of know what analytics is, even if it's only in theory. We also know where and how it's used. We have seen where data comes from, and we know what it looks like. So our next step will be to try and classify analytics into different branches.